Orphie versus Evelyn versus Lucia versus the Octo Mama herself, Yidhari. Probably butchered the fuck out of that name. But anyways, guys, should you be pulling on this patch altogether? Or I should say, should you be pulling for Orphie and Evelyn? With them being in the dying class of attack and Orphie being in the dying meta of Aftershock? I think I know the answer to this question, but we're going to be going over in today's video, guys, going over the pros, cons, best in slot partners, and future value of all these characters, having a pull priority list for you guys, and talking about why, first of all, I think that this patch is kind of dead in an automatic skip. Honestly, I think you really should skip Orphie and Evelyn. And I think you probably should save for Lucia and Octomami there. So, yeah, we're bias aside. Let's hop into the video now, guys. Going over our rerun first, right? I guess like what I would consider maybe the lowest on the pull value chart here, which would be Miss Mommy Evelyn. But let's not shit on her too much. Let's talk about her pros. First of all, great burst damage. And what I mean by this, guys, is literally you come in with chain attacks whenever you get her little burst meter up or her little charge meter up, and then you do chain attack, and then you ult, and then you do chain attack, and you do chain attack, and then that's the premise, right? You do chain attacks until you can't do chain attacks no more. Now, that being said, she does have a very high skill ceiling with this. So if you do like characters that have a higher skill ceiling, I think Evelyn's definitely in the move for you. And then she's also one of the only characters in the game, attack-wise anyways, that's good, that can actually group up a lot of enemies. So if you're in a game mode that has like a lot of enemies on the field, she's gonna be really good, especially if you're thinking about like Shiyu defense, right? For those like first couple stages when there's a lot of enemies that spread out, they can really cuck your runs over if you cannot hit them in the same group, or you don't have like a grouping ability. Some of them get straggle out and then you end up losing time like that. So I do think that Evelyn in that sense is actually pretty good, and the burst damage from her is actually pretty solid as well. But hopping into whatever cons, guys, is she does require pretty complex gameplay to actually max out her damage, meaning you need to make sure you have ult charge up. You need to make sure that you have, you know, meter maxed out. You need to make sure you have a lot of energy so she's able to get to her chain attacks that much faster. You need to be synergizing with the rest of the team so that she's able to get back to the field and do more chain attacks there as well. Stunning the enemy so she's able to come in doing chain attacks and stuff like that. You just want everything to be centered on chain attacks, and she is a bit more complex to play. So if you do want a more Unga Boonga Brain character, then maybe she's not the character for you. Not to say these other characters are Unga Boonga Brain. Some of them are definitely more Unga Boonga Brain than she is, but not all of them. So next up here, guys, no team buffs, meaning she provides no type of supportability for the team, meaning after she loses her DPS capability, she falls off a fucking cliff. Main DPS that will need a buff in the future, that kind of applies to this as well, right? Like, no team buff, she has to be a good main DPS, and as of right now, guys, she is currently falling the fuck off the meta. In my opinion, she is, guys. We can kind of take a look at what she's able to do in the current Shiyu defense and Deadly Assault right now. Looking at some of the charts right here, guys, we can see where she at. Yeah, down here below Harumasa and Nekomata in terms of her clear times right now. What I actually want to show you guys is actually clear times of what people are beating this with, right? Obviously, Evelyn and C, that's a 2-minute clear time, not the worst thing in the world. And then it kind of drops off the cliff. And why does this work? Because C is a great sub DPS. That's why it fucking works. Everything else, guys, kind of down in the dumps in my opinion, right? If we don't even sort by time here, right? Like 2 minutes and 31 seconds. Obviously, these usage rates are lower, but she is dropping more and more and more off the meta the more time goes on, and I think you'll definitely start to see that with the release of more DPS, especially characters like Rupture, and that's why I kind of feel like the attack class is dead, but we'll touch more on that at the end of the video, guys. Hopping into our best in slot partners, Astra and Lighter. The problem with this, guys, is this is a pretty highly contested category. Maybe not as much Lighter anymore, because I think Mono Ice actually works better for Miyabi, and then also you have Hugo as well, but Lighter will actually be a pretty decent option for the Octomami, because he provides a buff to ice damage, which she's doing ice damage. So maybe a decent option there, which also would remove him from an Evelyn team in some way, shape, or form, right? So I can definitely see that maybe panning out there. Austria, obviously a really good all-around support type character. So you may be like very contested teammates there. And then in terms of future preferability, guys, she's gonna need a buff to keep up. The Rupture meta is too fucking strong for her not to need a buff to keep up. They cooked the game with the Rupture class. I'm not gonna lie to you. The class is too fucking strong. They defense ignore everything off rip, so that's like a free buff off rip to every single one of your Rupture characters on top of their HP scaling, which makes their damage go through the fucking roof too. So like, it is so hard for these attack characters to actually compete with this, considering now they can just take these other buffs and just have the 100% defense and do massive damage. So like, it's the attack class is really falling apart. I feel like the Rupture is the new attack class, and that is the new meta in the game. Anyways, guys, that's all I have to say for Evelyn here, and kind of know my rant here. Let's talk about our next character on the list here, which is actually going to be Miss Lucia, guys. First of all, she has a massive damage bonus, or a massive sheer damage bonus buff that she gives to the team, the biggest one in the game. So no longer will you need to use Pandayun, guys, because she is here to do the job, and do the job a great amount of that. But on top of this, guys, this is not the only buff she's providing, because she's also giving you crit damage and damage percent bonuses as well. She's also a solid sub DPS, doing damage off the field, even more so than Austriao is, healing allies as well. Now these healing are in SMOT, so you do have to be kind of stationary to actually get the healing here. Do want to put that out there. Maybe not the best healing in the world, but healing nonetheless, and also comes with a new A rank. There will probably be a new A rank on her banner, the Fire Daddy. I can't think of his name right now. You guys know who I'm talking about, guys. He is right here, Minato, which is probably going to be a super solid DPS for her to run, because she's a support character. So literally pulling on her banner is going to be like amazing for free-to-play players, because you get DPS and support character in the same banner. What more can you really ask for in that regard, right? Now onto her cons, because she definitely has some. She is a niche outside of Rupture teams. Like, her crit damage she provides and her damage bonus she provides is actually fairly low if you were to compare it to basically any other buffer in the game. So that's kind of down bad if you're not Ringer and Rapture teams. Also on top of this as well, guys, is going to be requiring a stun or Rupture character for the crit damage buff. So if you don't have a stun character, it will not work. If you don't have a Rupture character, it will not work. You need one of the two here. So that means you can't run another attack type character in the team and get it if you're not running a stun character, nor can you run an anomaly type character in the team and also get this buff as well, right? Well, I guess anomaly wouldn't matter because you don't want crit damage, but attack characters really do matter in this regard. Next, guys, she requires good resource management to maximize buff uptimes, guys. She has a bunch of stacks. She works very similar in a way to how Austriao works, where Austriao is like, you like give 25 energy, and every time you swap, you're using some of that energy, right? So you want to make sure you're not swapping as frequently and swapping on offbeat chances whenever the buff's not up, if you actually really need to swap in that moment, so you're not running through her buff as fast as possible. So I definitely see her running into issues like that, because a lot of this is not coming from energy. So even if you were to run her max energy region, it doesn't necessarily alleviate the issue of these stacks, because these stacks are separately gained to keep her buff up. So keep that in mind as well, guys. Best in slot partner here though, guys, Yidhari, Yixuan, and then also the new A rank coming to the game, which is absolutely fucking massive, and the future proof. She's the best and brightest buffer for the Rapture class. Rupture being the real future meta of ZZZ, she will sit above the top for a long time to come, guys. She is fucking amazing. I love what she's able to do in the current content, right, or in the current dreams right now. So fucking love it, guys. Now let's talk about Octomami. Yeah, you guys want to hear about Octomami, right, guys? Absolutely massive defense ignore, HP scaling. We fucking love it, guys. Rupture characters are going to be the fucking next it, guys, because they just ignore defense. So you don't even need defense ignore. The more red spin you have, the fucking better, right? Fucking amazing. HP scaling, really massive as well. Rips miasma as well. And you guys have seen the complaints of miasma in the game. These characters rip through it. So you really do want these characters to really beat the mechanic that's in the game, which is very scummy. Don't get me wrong, but they rip through it. You can't not give it to them, because that's what they're made to do, right? Next is going to be massive damage scaling when below 50% HP. Yeah, guys, you live life on the edge. That's one of my favorite parts about this character, is literally get her below 50% HP, massive damage bonus. So you have to make sure you are low HP, dodging shit, playing the fucking game, guys, okay? Because if you heal over 50% HP, then you start losing that buff, right? So I fucking love that there. And then has great free-to-play teammates, guys. As we mentioned, has the new A rank here, has Yidhari coming to the game, which I guess is not free-to-play, but she also has the Pandayun that's also in the game as well. Lighter's also going to work. But anyways, guys, I really do feel like she'll have a great free-to-play team at launch that you'll be able to use, that being Panda, and then also Minato as well for a secondary or sub-DPS. On to the cons, though, guys, because all characters have them. High-risk, high-reward gameplay. If you do not fuck with that, she is not going to be the character for you. If you cannot dodge for shit, if you cannot dodge for the life of you, maybe not the character for you. Next up, guys, not much team support. Now, I don't mean in terms of the team you can run her with. I'm talking about her supporting the rest of the team. She really doesn't have basically any of it. Maybe she has like an HP buff, I think, but that's about it. 5% HP buff, I think. But still, not that good in the grand scheme of things, and very complex gameplay, guys. She has a lot of these like little charges, and like you have to like level up her skill ability and stuff like that to make sure she's maximizing damage. So if you're not down with complex, high risk, high reward gameplay, she is not the character for you. I would say that she's more complex than Evelyn is. That's what I would say. Anyways, guys, on to the next tag here, which is best in top partners. Obviously, Lucia. Panda in the new A rank coming to the game, Mr. Manato, right? And then future proofing. She will be a top tier, if not the best DPS in the game, due to her ice typing, and also when played correctly. But the downside with her, guys, is that she really has no team support, so when HP inflation catches up, she'll also start performing worse as well. Kind of the same story with Evelyn, right? But she's newer and also has defense ignore built in, right? Which maybe they'll have to make enemies that fucking counter that in the future. I don't fucking know, guys. Anyways, on to our last character here, which is Miss Orphie Pros. Best installed Aftershock support in the game. Literally gives defense down for all of your Aftershock damage you're going to be able to do. Fucking amazing, right? Next, guys, is great sub DPS damage. Yeah, she's fucking good with the sauce. She's a sub DPS. What can you say? Fucking amazing. She's boosting her own crit rate, damage percentage for Aftershock damage, and attack percentage for herself. So that means, and the team as well. She gives attack buff to the team. But that means that she's just really good all around for doing her own damage, even if you were to not put her on a team with, let's say, Aftershock related characters or the Aftershock characters in the game right now, which is Silver Soldier Ambi, right? Can flex in between main and sub DPS. I think that she can be viable as a main DPS. I think it can work. I'm not saying it's the best thing in the world, but I think it can work, and I think it definitely can clear content on time with the current meta we have in the game right now. Attack buff is universal. Yeah, attack buff is pretty universal unless you're using Rupture characters and it's not. But overall, it is. On to the cons, though, guys. The attack class is dead. Aftershock meta feels omega fucking cooked. And then, honestly, guys, like, when I say this, I mean, like, what does the attack class have? Tell me genuinely in the comments right now, guys. What does the attack class have that the Rupture class does not have? Tell me. Because what I'm seeing right now, guys, is better scaling off rip with HP. I get that some buffers don't, like, really care about the fucking HP shit they give attack. Okay, whatever. They scale off of HP, which is fucking massive, and they fucking ignore defense off rip. Like, it's what the fuck does attack do to catch up? Aftershock feels omega cooked because all you have is Soldier Zero Ambi. C doesn't do Aftershock damage, so what you gonna use C there? What buff is she really providing there? And that's just my kind of general thoughts on that, guys. Better buff from other supports that are coming to the game. Like, literally, guys, like, her buff is okay if you're not running her on team. She gives an attack buff, but what other fucking support character doesn't do that? The only benefit with running her on team is support DPS, which, you know, if you still run her in the correct situations, you know, she'll be able to bypass defense, but no one else will. And then bursty sub DPS damage. Yeah, there's some charge up or wind up time on her damage whenever she's off the field, so take that for what you will as well. Kind of a bursty sub DPS, so if you're not consistently doing damage, you're doing damage in burst. Next up, guys, gonna be best install partner Sambi, Trigger, Pulchra. Yeah. Sambi's used, you know where she's at on the tier list, guys. Future proof ability, guys, will only get better when the attack class and the Aftershock meta improves, and that's a big if. So feels dead in the water. Okay, guys, so that's all that I have to mention now in terms of the pros, cons, and everything. If I were to give you guys a pull priority here, we're going to go ahead and mark it out like this, right? I think this is obviously bottom of the fucking barrel right here. That being Miss Evelyn here. I really don't think you pull for her. Number 3, guys, I think Orphie is a number 3 here. I don't think you really pull for Orphie here. I would probably give this a 2 and this a 1. The reason I give this a 1 is, first of all, support, probably S rank or tier 0 support, on top of having Minato on the same banner, so free-to-play players will rejoice with this, and it also gives you an extra damage dealer for Rupture, which actually does combat, you know, Miasma really well. So that's why I see she's number 1. She's number 2. The future of the game right now, to me, seems like it's going to be Rupture, and that's what I mean, guys. The attack class is in fucking shambles. The Aftershock class is in fucking shambles. I think even if you were to give Sambi a buff, I don't think it keeps up with what Rupture's able to do. I'll be honest with you guys, I really don't think so. Let me know in the comment section down below if I'm wrong on this, but I feel like Rupture is just so fucking strong. It is going to probably end up, I don't know if it can beat out the current anomaly meta we have, but it's pretty fucking damn close. I feel like if anything's lacking behind it, it is 100% the attack class. And then also, like we mentioned, Aftershock damage. What love has Aftershock gotten? I think Lucia has Aftershock attacks. Like, where does the Aftershock meta go? I don't know where it goes. I don't know what you can do to really make it better than already a 100% defense ignore. I don't know. Anyways, guys, that's going to do it for today's video, guys. If I were to say skip this fucking patch right now, skip Orphie, skip fucking Evelyn, save up for fucking Lucia, especially if you're a free-to-play player and looking for real value with your account, I think Lucia is the 100% of the way to go. I will stand 10 toes down this until the day I die, unless I'm proving wrong in some way, shape, or form. Anyways, guys, that's going to do it for today's video. Hopefully you subscribe to the channel, and that's going to do it for me, guys. See you later. Bye-bye.